Hello, everybody. Hello and welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official LOTRO stream channel here on Twitch. I am your host, Little Redhead, and I will be taking you around the world of Middle-earth today. Hello to the folks in chat. Hi, Real Tev. Hi, Just Right. Sandy, good to see you. Just as I was getting ready to start clicking on buttons, the cat decided to walk right here across my keyboard, and she is currently, yes, positioned herself here. I have moved the cat bed, though. The cat bed is no longer here next to me on stream. Sorry. It's now next to the, it's partly on my desk and partly on a side table. Because she was making a habit of just sitting right in front of my monitor. So like, you know, you are the monitor. This is the cat. And there's me going, I want to click over there. So I decided to give her a nest closer by. Yes, I did, didn't I? Okay, I'm going to pick you up for just a second so you can say hi to everybody on stream. Yes, hi, sweetie. Yeah, this is Kato. They're not really fond of being picked up, so it pleases me that she tolerates that much. But there we go. Now we'll have a cat tail in the way and you can enjoy her cat presence. Sandy says, hi, Kato. I am feeling better. Thank you for noticing. I'm still under the weather and I am coughing way too much, which is annoying. So I'm going to try to not cough in your ears on stream. And I might cut it short again and give B4 more time for his plugin development. We shall see. Oh no, you can't have that. Man, she is just like into you guys. I have these little Velcro thingy to hold the cables for my microphone together, and she loves to chew on those things, which I can't imagine feels good. That's gotta feel really weird on your teeth. But anyway, all right. You're just gonna sit there on my mouse cable? All right. Well, if that makes you happy, you totally do that, babe. I'm happy. I'm happy when you're happy, sweetie kitty cat. She's a very silly cat, but there we go. She's 8 years old, at least. We got her from the shelter along with another one who's currently sleeping in a big squishy chair under the table at the moment. I expect we'll see them either later on my stream or on B4's stream. Wouldn't surprise me if they come out, especially if we put out some treats for them, as we sometimes do. So, all right. Well, today in LOTRO, not just in real life, is the last day of the Harvest Festival. So I thought it would be a good time for us to go and check out Wistmead, because we haven't done that on any of the other streams this year, and I'm not sure if I did it last year even. So we'll go and do that. So I was over here, and first I was going to pick up the ingredient crates. So if you're not familiar with these things, they are a furniture item. They can also go in a yard, so a furniture or yard item, inside or outside. And so you click on it. The regular one, it gives you, I believe it's three universal ingredient packs. So what that is these little darlings right here. And then there's the box next to it, and this is for premium members. So if you're a VIP or a lifetime member, you get the same thing, but you get 6 of them instead of 3 of them. So between these 2 boxes, I just picked up 9, hey baby, universal ingredient packs. So what does that mean? If I want to go and do any crafting, let's see, I'm a tailor. There we go, that'll work. And let's say I want to tailor something for myself. Oh, I gotta fix something. Let's say I want to go here and say, look, I want to make this majestic March Warden's potent armor. Well, let's say I don't have those ingredients. Like there's just something wrong. For some reason, I don't have any of that stuff. Well, I can use those universal ingredients and hang on, fix that. There we go. I'm actually on Treebeard, not Crick Hall today. So let's say I don't have the leathers, I don't have the mithril flakes. That's usually your holdup is the mithril or something like that. Or a large supreme pattern, because you can only get that through, in this case, that would be a guild item, Tailor's Guild. So let's say I don't have any of that. Well, I can switch and I can use universal ingredient packs. It'll use 8 of those packs, which I just got 9. So already I have enough for that. Now, the one thing, and it says this in bright orange there, items crafted, let me fix the server text, it's not centered and it'll annoy me. There we go, that's better. So items crafted with ingredient packs will be bound to your account upon creation. So if I were to make this, it's going to be bound to my account, so I can give it to any one of my characters, but it's only worth 1 penny. So I've done this before where I was skilling up a character and I had no money. And so basically I just crafted like a whole bunch of swords, like great swords, and then I sold them to the vendor and they were worth like, 4 silver each. And when you've got 0 silver, that's a lot, right? But when you use the universal packs, they're only worth a penny, 1 copper each. So just be aware of that. If you're trying to do that for money, you're not going to do so well. Yeah, thanks. Just right. Yes, it says, are you on Treebeard? Label says Crick Hollow. I noticed that when I was logging in, and I was like, oh, I gotta take care of that. And then, yeah, just figured out. You're trying to find a solution to cats playing with cords and cables. Well, I mean, they've already got the solution. I'm sure they're very adept at that. I'm afraid I don't have any good answers for you. I mean, a squirt bottle is generally what I've done in the past. These 2 are so well trained. Whoever was their previous owner did a really good job of training them to be pretty well behaved in terms of leaving the human stuff alone, which is really nice. They will lick out of bowls, and like if you have a container that had something that's sitting on the counter waiting to be washed or whatever, they'll lick out of that. They like getting up on counters, on tables, but they don't push things off. They don't eat cables. Like her eating the Velcro thing is actually like kind of an anomaly, because most of the time she doesn't have an interest in mucking about with human stuff. She likes sitting in windowsills, so I'm like, yeah, we'll accommodate that. They both love sitting by the window here, and they like being elevated a little bit. So we have a couple of chairs that like a leg is broken or not working. It's not good for humans, but the cats aren't so heavy, so they can sit on the chairs without it doing anything. And so we put those by the door just to get them out of the way one day, and the cats are like, mine. And so we have now one on each side of the door to the backyard, and so they kind of sit there like little gargoyles, or sphinxes waiting for us to tell them the password so we can get outside. It's really quite cute. They love sleeping on those, which is really funny because they're IKEA chairs. They're not huge or anything, right? And Casper is kind of bigger, and so he'll curl up at first, but once he really like, you know, he like spreads out a little bit, and he'll have a leg hanging off there and a leg hanging off here, and like his head's like almost off the chair. It's really funny. Whereas Kato, she's pretty self-contained. So okay, so I've scooted myself back here to the party tree. There's a hunter campsite fire at the party tree. It's really handy. So if you have a hunter in your party, this is a great way to get back and forth to the party tree when you're doing stuff. During festival, that is. Oh, one thing I want to show you before I head off to Wistmead is, and there's the pony to Wistmead. We'll be back. Inside the haunted burrow, so let's run in there. There are a series of 3 chests. I went ahead and did the cheaper ones, but the one you really want to pay attention to. Okay, so I've come in. I'm going to do the left side, so I kind of like jog over, and then I'm going up this hallway here through this bookshelf that moves. And then again, I'm going to jog left and keep going straight. And then you get to that door that you can't go in unless you're doing the riddle in a bottle quest. But if you turn over to your right, there's a door to the basement. Super handy, gets you right here to this fake barrel rack door. And this is the poorly hidden chest. This one you can only check once every 24 hours. So today's the last day. And it gives you usually some funny things like, what did I get? I got some spider legs. I got candle and mirror. I got some festival tokens. And, oh, and then this cover it all. It's probably down here. So you get some of those consumable emotes that you can do on people, like the little tricks, as they call them. Excuse me. Dang it. I was going to try and mute that when I coughed. I'm sorry. Anyway, inside there, you might find the Aged Deed, which starts a quest for you. And it's a really short quest. You just go out and talk to somebody. I want to tell you who, in case you want to keep the mystery. But what you end up with is the skeleton painted pony. So you get a free mount for your character. Now, it's bound to character, unfortunately. So if you get it on a character you already have it on, you're kind of out of luck. So I actually stopped checking with that. I got it on one character on Treebeard this year. It was pretty exciting. I haven't gotten it on any of my other characters this year, but one character on Treebeard got it. Well, I've only been checking Treebeard and Crick Hollow. I haven't been doing... no, I've been doing Laurelin too. I've been doing Treebeard, Crick Hollow, and Laurelin, but I haven't been doing Evernight or Landreval. They've just kind of been sitting there this year. But I did check those 2 last year. One of my characters on Evernight got it last year. A funny thing is I had 3 characters at the time, and yeah, 2 of them were more active, and one was kind of like, I had thrown away the Bjorning outfit when I made him a Bjorning, and the Bjorning outfit's really cool. So I had to make a new Bjorning in order to get the Bjorning outfit back. So I did that, and so that's what that character was for. But I was doing festival with her, and she's the one who got the skeleton pony, so it's kind of funny. So, speaking of, what if I do that? Is that any better? If I cover it?
No.
No.
It's really good. Like, you gotta mute it.
I gotta find the mute button.
It's right there.
It's right there. Okay. There we go. If I can find the mute button fast enough, we're good. Cough is not too loud. Well, I'm glad it's not too loud to you. It's loud to us. Okay, so check it out. I went ahead and picked up the horse, the steed. That looks like the steed. Check that out. So this one probably was available some years ago, and it's now available for mithril coin. So I did spend like 75 mithril coin, but it's a cute mount, and it matches. I got it, and I made an outfit that matches it. The only thing is, I'm wondering if my outfit really should have a little bit more black in it. But the oranges look really good. I think the oranges blend nicely together. So, anyway, so yes, I went ahead and spent the mithril and got the matching mount. Anyway, speaking of this mount, so there's this pony to Wistmead. Real quick, before I forget, what's the deal with Wistmead? Well, there's twofold part to Wistmead. Bingo Boffin over here, he has 2 quests during this festival. Well, 2 quest chains, I should say. All right, so Frightful Tales to Curl the Hair in Your Toes is the first one. And my understanding is, and this predates us playing, is the first one came out one year, and then the second one came out the following year. And and that's when the second one came out, that's when Wistmead appeared. So they were kind of connected in that regard, but you don't have to do bingo in order to go and do Wistmead, okay? They're not connected in that regard. It's just a play space for the second one, which is called The Curse of the Eerie Acres. So the first one, the Frightful Tales to Curl the Hair on Your Toes, that quest chain takes place here around the party tree. You go, around the area. You're mainly here at the party tree. You got to pop down to Tuckborough at one point to go to the library. And you go up to Brocken Borings and kind of up into, what is that, the Binball Wood, to do some investigation. But most of it, so it takes place in the Shire. And most of it kind of in this linear area, right? Okay, and then the Curse of the Eerie Acres takes place, I was gonna say entirely, but you do have to do a trek over to Mickle Delving at one point. So it's almost all in Wistmead, and then at one point you got to run over to Mickle Delving and talk to the mayor and a few of the characters that you may have interacted with previously in Mickle Delving. So you pop over there and you have a chat with a few people because you're trying to chase down like who owns a place. You're trying to get some history about a house. So you got to talk to people and find out what they know. Including the Post, which is a cute little series. So if you haven't done that one, it is really sweet. It's really interesting the way they did. There's some letters that you end up reading, and they basically have the author of those letters because it's not current time. This is like ago. I was going to say geleden tijd, but that means nothing to the English speakers in the audience here. So some time ago in the past. And so they have like her little ghost show up, but she's like this little hobbit. So it's just like this little hobbit ghost, and she's just, as if she's having a conversation. It's really cute. All right, so once you complete each of those, you get, I think it's like 24 tokens for the festival. So for each one of those. So it is worth completing because you get a ton of tokens. But so that's what kind of sends you. It is a sad little story. It's true. It really is. I mean, Sandy is on the nose there. There was a time in Lord of the Rings history, in the Shire, where there was a really bad winter, and it was long, and it was really so bad that people couldn't get out, and I think that's when the Brandywine froze over and the wolves came into the Shire. It's a big deal, and so the letters take place. The letters were written during that time, and it's a bit heartbreaking actually, but there's character development with Dina Das specifically, and maybe with Bingo. All right, so to get to Wistmead, you can't get there anywhere else. You can't go over land. It's an instanced area outside of here. So we gotta click on the pony and see we get a little summoning mount bar that shows up there. So that gets us over to this festival grounds, which is Wistmead, which is somewhere in Middle Earth. And so we have Hobbit festival goers. Are you having a good time? I certainly am. And there's these little stone walls that are kind of partially there, or maybe just kind of trail off because it maybe broke apart. So it's as if there was something here at some point, but it's been a little while. Maybe it was a little housing development. You have over here in the corner, you've got this cute little cemetery, little graveyard. You've got a black cat lying there. If you go past the little graveyard, actually there's a little bit of water. So it's got kind of like a big spooky feel, the whole land does. And so you got this little pond over here, and there's a hobbit fishing over here. And they say you can hear voices in the water, but I'll not go sticking my head in a bog. That's probably wise. There's sometimes a cat hiding in this little thicket of brambles. Okay, so there's all sorts of stuff as we get distracted here. So let's go back to the main road where we came in. So if we want to leave and go back to where we were, back to the party tree, we can follow that road. Eventually, you see how the branches kind of cover over themselves as you go? At some point, you basically just teleport. So down there, you will end up back at the party tree. But there is also, if I follow the main road back, and notice we just passed Bingo. So when you come in, you'll be talking to him if you're doing that. So we keep going. There's like a little half-broken lamp, but it still works. And some more festival goers. The decorations here are quite something. We got pumpkins laying by the side. We've got these funky little gourds that have been decorated up as if they're goblins. It's cute. But yeah, here we go. So there's a pony here to the party tree as well. So you could click on that, and it will give you that same kind of travel bar, and you zip back over. When you first arrive in Wistmead, and again, if you'd always arrive down there kind of by Bingo. So that's the kind of the scene that you will see as you arrive. Should be coming from, from back in this direction. So that's what you see up ahead of you. So let me maybe take names off for just a second. So we've got a cluster of little canopy spaces there, and a couple, like some little quest giver peoples there. And then we have a little cluster of stuff over here. And then you'll see there's a big wall looking there. That is the corn maze. Get it? Corn maze. So if I scroll up, if I kind of lean up a little bit, you can just start to see into it. And so they're inside. There are, the different walls and whatnot to try and get around. So you're trying to get from here to the back to there. So it's very much like the maze that you have during the, was it Anniversary Festival or Spring Festival? Spring Festival, I think, right? But we can't really see where those lines are. I wonder if I can get on top of something. Let's give it a try. I bet not, but we'll try. Oh, so close. I need B4. He's really good at this sort of thing. Let's see if I can do this. I got better at parkour and stuff. Oh yeah, check that out. All right, so you can kind of see in there, but you can tell that it's not all visible. Like it just kind of drifts off right there, right? So, and what is going on over here? Whoa, that's crazy. Maybe that's part you can't go in. So, but you can see that there's the walls and stuff. So it is a maze. So in the maze, there's the walls are there, like they're all made of corn stalks and whatnot. But every so often you'll find a piece of the wall where it's just a slightly different color, and it's most of the walls are impassable, but that little petty portion you can pass right through it. So you'll be like, nope, 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 nope. Oh, okay, shoo, and you can just zoom right in between those two pieces. So when you are doing the maze, that's what some people are like, so what does that mean? If you come over to the maze, there's a lady here, Ermintrude Haybank, and she has Challenging Wheat and Cheat of the Wheat. So those are the two quests where you are getting through the maze, and you have like a period, a countdown of time where it's like, a minute and 10 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever. Because Challenging Wheat, you will have to go all the way around and, and find your way out. Cheat of the Wheat, you can use those little secret passages to get between, get between the walls, and that allows you to get through a lot faster. But you can't use those in Challenging Wheat, so that's why there's two different ones. And what's different about this maze, hello Shadowcrafts, or Shadowcraft 5, welcome to the chat. So what's different about this maze versus the maze in the Spring Festival is that this one changes. So as it turns out, there are 5 different mazes, and they do rotate through. So you can basically number them, and people have done so. So you have like maze 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then it'll rotate back to 1. So it goes through the numbers, and then it cycles back around. So once you know what maze it's on, you can figure out what the maze the next day is going to be. Also, and this is in the wiki, the maze doesn't change at 3 a.m. server time. It changes at, I think, 10 a.m. So if you are late in getting it done from the previous day, and you're trying to do each one of the different mazes, then you can still pick it up and do it before the clock changes over to the next maze. But you can only do it once a day, and that's a 3 a.m. server reset. So, if you're doing it today, I would be able to do it, later today, for example. And then there's 2 other ones, Gathering Gourds and Preventing a Murder, which is finding birds and finding gourds. So those are kind of like other quests that you might have done in the other maze. Okay, so I see Moobot has reminded everybody, thanks Moobot, that Standing Stone Games is, and they're the ones who create LOTRO here, they are participating, SSG is participating in fundraising for Extra Life. All of the donations, so if you make a donation, all of it goes to the streamer who you are donating in the name of. It goes to that person's chosen children's hospital. So I have chosen Boston Children's Hospital because that is nearby where SSG is located, and that's kind of like the default one for SSG. And because we live in the Netherlands, so there's not a children's hospital nearby. I guess all hospitals are children's hospitals. I'm not actually sure. I don't have children in this country, so I don't know. At any rate, so yes, if you donate, you can get rewards that you can use in LOTRO. So there is a link there, LOTRO Extra Life 2022 EN, if you want to read it in English. And so yes, make sure you fill out that survey, and then Cord will get you rewards. He talked about it on the last stream, about when he'd be sending those out. I don't recall though. If you would like to participate in and make a donation under my name, you have a link, that's the final link there, which is extralife.org participant/LIL redhead. That is me. Hello. And I will do a Hobbit backflip in the game for you as a thank you for your donation. So, but yeah, absolutely. Do that if you feel like the desire, the urge to do so, or if you are just like, man, those goodies look really awesome to me. But never feel like you have to donate to participate. Just yeah, do it if you feel moved to do so. Okay, so thanks, Moobot, for the reminder on the Extra Life. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, so we've come in on this kind of main road, and we've looked at the maze. But when I come to Wistmead, well, when you first come to Wistmead, let's start there. When you first come to Wistmead, and unfortunately this character's already done this, so I won't be able to show you this, but Walric Goldworthy here, he is the one, I wonder if I have it in my quest log. Let's see if that would be in here. He's the one that did the work. He, organized all of this stuff to create this thing. Let's see. We are in the Fall Festival, also known as Harvest Festival. Celador. Let's see if I can find the quest. Oh no, that's coming up though. Oh, maybe it's a windy. Yeah. There it is. A windy walk through Wistmead. So this is the quest that you would get from him, from Walric Goldworthy here. And he basically says, it seems that word has spread about Wistmead. The Harvest Festival has long been my favorite of all the festivals in the Shire, and after seeing that old prank that old Mr. Baggins played on Lobelia with the cellar, I was inspired to craft something of my own, and here it is. So clearly proud of his work, he gestures wildly in every direction. And to my delight, Ermintrude Haybank, Hallinard Bunce, and Iris Tunley have devised a number of new games and activities for the Harvest Festival. So if you find them wandering around, be sure to introduce yourself. So he wants you to go then and speak to those 3 specific people. Once you have done that, then that basically opens up all the quests of Wistmead. So you go and you talk to Ermintrude, and she's like, hey, there's this maze behind me. You should come back and do some of these fun things. You talk to Iris, who's not too far from Walric there, and she's got a couple of quests. One which is, there's no spiders on some of the spider webs here, so can you go to Scary and get some? I'm like, are you crazy, lady? But I do it once in a while. And then Wayward Shadows is super cute, where she wants you to go find some cats. So we'll come back to that. Anyway, and then Hollinard Bunce over here, and he has a couple of quests. He's been making some ale and such and such. So that's the third person that you would need to talk to. Now, we do have a couple other people here, but they are duplicates of people that you'll find at the party tree. So it kind of adds to the atmosphere, but is not required for you to interact with them here. So, for example, we have Rosa Hornblower, who's our Harvest Festival trader. So I can pick up my daily quest from her, for example. Sure, let's do that. And then if I wanted to barter for anything, she is our bartering person. So speaking of cats, Ginger Cat on a Cushion and White Shirt Cat on a Cushion are two new housing items this year. I went ahead and picked them up for our kin house, but I think the cats just sit, like I think it's static. I don't think they move. The Sleeping Brown Cat, though, does get up and move around. So it'll lie there for a bit, and then it'll get up and it'll stretch, and then it kind of wanders around and like it licks its paw or something, and then it lays back down. So that one's really cute. So that's also new this year. In fact, we can just double check the new items. So yeah, and then there's three new pet tomes. The Lantern Gourd Lurker. See a little gourd lurker following you around, but he's got like a candle on top and some like spider webs on him. We've got the Black Marble Wolf Dog and the Night Sky Craven. So those are three new pets you can get through this festival, and then three new housing items you can get from this festival for this year. Okay, so let's go ahead and then, okay, so then after you talk to those three, you would go back to Walrick, and he's like, neato, you met the people, good job, and now go and have fun at have fun here. So one of the things you can do then is you can talk to him, and he has a quest for you where he says, it's horrible, just horrible. I have been beset by complaints, and just a moment ago I saw another hobbit sleeping in the field. It's one of the Boffins, by the way. He's like, have I done something wrong? It seems that no matter what festivities I think up, I cannot impress them. Why don't you try and help them get in the spirit? Show them what spooky fun can be had in Wistmead. All right, we'll do that. We're going to skip the maze. We're going to go here and talk to Iris. So she has Wayward Shadows. So this is like my daily route. And she's like, misery me. I've heard those quiet little mews around Wistmead again. I have enough to manage already looking after all this. She gestures to the cats at her feet and more subtly towards Walrick. She says, in time, I will be glad to see them off to Bree, probably to the Bree cat house. She says, but for now, it seems the festival goers have grown fond of them. Would you go and find a few more of these black cats for me? So that's the dealio there. Sorry, I'm still like intaking lots of beverages. It seems to be helping with all of this. It's really funny because, in the U.S., there's a lot of over-the-counter medicines that you can get, your Robitussin and your Benadryls and cold and flu and, all those different various things. And over here, they're much lighter on over-the-counter medicines and medicines in general, really. Like, only if you're really sick do you end up, we end up in the hospital or something, right? So I've got, they do have Ricola, so I've got my little cough drops, right? And they have, you can get nose spray, so that's a thing here. But the cough medicine is basically it's a blend of honey and bark, and yeah, so that's the cough medicine. So it's like a home remedy, but in a bottle from the store. So yeah, it's really funny because it's like I've just stepped into somebody's kitchen from 100 years ago. So but it never really changes how fast you get over something. It doesn't seem like, oh yeah, there's no Alka-Seltzer or anything like that. It's just, it helps you manage or not feel so bad with the symptoms. Oh, hey, thank you. I didn't hear it. Shadowcraft 5. All right, well here, let me drop this down. Thank you for the donation to Extra Life. That is really awesome. And that donation, you'll be able to get like maximum number of picks off of the community loot list. I think it's like 8 or 9. So make sure you take a look at that and get all sorts of good stuff. So here we'll do, oh, I can't do it without that because I gotta type. Well, we'll get you a Hobbit flip here. There we go. Woohoo! Well, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate if you're in a situation where, you know, caring for your child and caring for a sick child is never fun, right? Like my kids have had colds and flus and stuff like that, especially when they're little, and you're just like, I want to take this off of your body. Like, let me take this out of you. It's just so hard to watch a kid feeling sick. So I appreciate the work that children's hospitals do to help out the kids and the families who are in that situation. So yay! So thank you very much. All right, so we're gonna talk to Halinard here as well, and he has 2 quests for us. So one is an eerie fog. He's like, hey, do you have a minute? I've received a lot of feedback on my last few blends of Fog Noggin Ale, Fog Noggin, and I think I finally got it right. If you'd be so kind, try a sample of my new and hopefully improved Fog Noggin. Once you've had sufficient time to reckon with its complex flavor, tell me what you think of it. I hope I've got the balance right. All right, and then our second quest from him is like, oh, the goblins have returned to Wistmead. He said, I thought we had driven the last of them back to Mount Graham, but it seems the draw of the Harvest Fest has proven too great. Will you take up this club and send them flying out of the Shire? So this is one of the 2 quests in the entire festival where you can get virtue experience. So that's really handy. So if you're trying to work on, you know, some of your virtues, you want to do his quest every day if you can. Shadowcraft says, been doing this campaign every year since the start. Love helping out. Y'all are great for all the hard work. Oh, thank you, Shadowcraft. That's very sweet. Yay! Well, I'm glad you're having fun participating. I enjoy it. It's always fun to like it's like the community coming together, and you know, it's like a big party of us all donating money into a big pot and making good stuff happen, which I think is pretty awesome. That's the way to do it. All right. Whoa! What is in that draft? And look at how I'm starting to move. So it's like you get the drunk effect on me. So I've got the Fog Noggin Ale. Perhaps too late. You understand the meaning of the name he has given to this ale. Oh, just in case you were curious, if you noticed in the background, we have Bingo Boffin back here. And she's standing with a couple of ponies because that's the skeleton steed pony that you can get out of the box. And then that's one that you can buy from the LOTRO store. So they have a green version like that, and then they have a red version. So kind of cool. So you can kind of see 2 out of the 3 of them standing right there. Okay, so notice here, not far from Halinard, we've got, and I'll show you my route basically. We've got a spiritless hobbit, and that goes back to our first guy that we talked to, right? So we're trying to, oh, I should jump down. Hang on, I'm moving. So we're gonna go boo at them. Boo! And he's like, oh, what horror, even the hairs on my feet are standing on edge. So we're helping them celebrate in the spirit of the festival. Now notice we have the steaming stein here, and that lit up because of the Fog Noggin Ale. So we're gonna go ahead and take that. And this guy's chowing down on that pie. He's having a good time. You are not entirely certain if that was coffee, but you feel better. And our spiritless hobbit is back, so we can actually say boo at him again. You're even scarier than the line for the maze. All right, so now we have a stomped shrew over here with a ring over its head. If we run nearby it, he knocks us down. It takes a minute to recover. And it says, what have so many careless boots wrought? Sudden terror grips you and you feel more alert. Now here we have a goblin gourd on the ground. So if I just tab around, like it doesn't do anything for me. It sends me to the corpse of a bat. Oh, it's flying in the air. So you have to actually go and click on it. You can't tab your way around. So when you do that, then you'll use that club that's in your inventory and whap it away. Now that would be showing up on my information here, except for I've put all these things on here. So let me get rid of a few things. I'm working on these consumables, and I was trying to keep track of like, am I even close? All right, so we'll just get rid of a couple of those. Okay, so then again, we have another one, and it's over here by this other hobbit. So this is kind of a twofer because we'll whack that away. There we go, now it's on my bar. And we're gonna talk to the hobbit. Woo! What horror, even the hairs on my feet are standing on end. And then by the time I've done that, even without talking, Usually there's a gourd back here again. Oh, and the shrew again. But so I can go ahead and whap this gourd. All right, so now we're going to run over here by this bat, and it makes us usually kind of hover. What sort of vile illusion is this? A sudden terror grips you and you feel more alert. So these are the things that are working off our the ale effects. And we have another goblin. So what I usually do at this point is I mount up because I want to work on the effects of the ale and I want to find the cats. So that spider, look, it's kind of like a ghosty spider. So we go by the spider. And what sort of vile illusion is this? Sudden terror grips you and you feel more alert. Over here at the cemetery we showed up before, there is a black cat with a ring now. So I can pick up the black cat. Here comes one of my favorite things. The ghost of Old Took. And it's like a little squirrel standing on top of the thing. Look at that little guy. Could it be the ghost of Old Took? He's so cute. Oh, that cracks me up. I love that one. We have another spiritless hobbit. She's just standing right here. Might as well scare her off. So you notice I can do a lot of these things while I'm mounted as well, which is kind of convenient. All right, so I'm going to go back over to that pond that we talked about earlier. And going into the water, the cold, murky water of the bog seems to help. So, and then we've got a spiritless hobbit here who's fishing. He wasn't there when we came and took a look earlier. Oh, perhaps Wistmead is spookier than I thought. Now, each one of these effects to help me get over the ale only helps you 1 and you need to do 6. But I've actually just done 6 already. It's saying talk to Halanoid Bunce. Like, I'm done. So that's not too bad. Sometimes a cat shows up here. Sometimes a cat will be in here. All right, so that'll be what, number 2. And we had the cat over by the cemetery, and sometimes they show back up and you can do the same thing again. Like, see, the spiritless hobbit is back, and oh, and then she turns into a spirited hobbit, which I think is great. The name changes. Let's see, there's a ghosty spider over here that helps with the Fog Noggin Ale. And if you go kind of into these brambles, again, a lot of times there'll be a cat kind of in this little clearing. Oh, like, here it is. And they do show up on your map as rings. But when you're still doing the spiritless hobbits, there's so many of these spiritless hobbits, like, lying all over the place, that they kind of, they're everywhere. If you're ever struggling to find these goblin gourds, there's one next to Bingo. Now, you cannot do that mounted, so if I click on it, it's gonna, there we go. It's gonna dismount me. And there is a bug that sometimes when you do it that way, you'll end up with your weapons equipped and not your cosmetic things equipped anymore. I haven't quite figured out how to fix that, aside from just re-equipping them. But so what I do is I get off of my mount and then I do it, so I don't hit that bug. There's another goblin gourd. We'll keep running down the road here. So what I tend to do is at this point, if I have all 4 of my cats, which I usually do by now, but I don't, I only have 3, so we'll have to find another one, but I've got some other places I want to show you where they might be. So what I'll tend to do is I'll hit this goblin gourd, because he's right here on the corner, and then if I still need more, there's one here, and there's one here, right on my way to Iris to turn in the cats. But I don't have the cats yet, so let me show you some other places, because it seems like the cats one is the one that's the most time consuming, especially if there's a bunch of other people here. But I'll go ahead and turn in this to Walrick. He's like, well, I can hear the hoots and cheers from here. Perhaps I was a little too hasty in my thinking. Thank you, Rosenbloom, that will be all. So there we go. So now we've gotten people into the spirit. So, okay, if you're looking for other things for the ale, you've got other options. There's a pie here. It's like a spider pie, and so that kind of wakes you up. There's a ghosty of a squirrel that runs around here. You can also do push-ups, and you can also do the slap emote. So if you get really desperate, either of those things will also help. Okay, so there's another cat. There's 2 other places I'll show you where you sometimes find cats. So there's this kind of like abandoned place. Let me go back to the main road. Okay, so let's get our reference points again. Here's Bingo. There's the kind of worn down, broken down thing. And if you go this side of it, yeah. Notice how there's like a kind of almost like a pathway to a tree, behind a tree here. And you'll notice a ring has shown up on my mini-map because there's a black cat there. So that's another place where you'll find them. So behind this tree, at the graveyard, over by the water, behind that tree, in that thicket. There's also one other place, and I don't know what triggers it to happen, but every once in a while, okay, so here we're back kind of in the center where everybody's got the fire and stuff. There's like some abandoned stuff over there, some of the debris from when he was cleaning up the area. You find out about that during the bingo quest. There's this pathway, which doesn't, I don't wonder, does it go anywhere normally? No, okay. During the bingo quest line, you do go down that path, down by Marigold. But if we come over here, there's a little path, and there was that spiritless hobbit here. If we go along this path, basically we are running alongside the corn maze. And sometimes there'll be a spiritless hobbit and black cats, like just dotted up and down this lane. I ran into it again, like I think this weekend, and I was able to get 4, just like boom, 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 boom. It's really weird. But then every other day I check, they're not there. So I don't know. It's kind of wild. But I have 4 now. So let's go let Iris know. Hey, Iris.
How do you do?
She says, good gracious, as much as I enjoy having them around for the Harvest Festival, it will be a great relief when this is all over. Once I get back to Staddle, that woman from Bree can have the whole lot of them, but perhaps I'll ask to keep 1 for myself. So her other quest is really goofy. It only gives you 3 festival tokens and some legendary item experience. And you have to go... Hello, Lord Zakbora, welcome. We're looking at Wistmead during the Harvest Festival. So this one, a waste of webs, and she's like, can you help me with a delicate matter? She said, Mr. Goldworthy took great care to wrap many of the bushes in Wistmead in fine cotton webbing, but I think he missed an important detail. There are no spiders in Wistmead, or if they were, they're long gone by now. Why don't you go down to Scary, find some spiderlings, put them in this jar, bring them back here, and we can make sure that no one notices this little mistake. So you accept that, you go to Scary, which, you know, is next to nothing. Well, okay, Brockenborings. You go and you pick up 12 spiderlings, come back here, and then like various parts, like this, or maybe it's this one. Oh yeah, it's this one. So there's various little trees around that look like that. And you have to do 4 trees. You just click on it and you put some little spiderlings on there. And then you go back to her and say, hey, I did your thing, and turn it in. So it's a really like kind of convoluted quest. So I don't do that one very often because it's not very quick. But yes, the Scary Mine is full of spiders, but for that quest you have to go get the little spiderlings. Here, I'll just show y'all. They're not the same. They're a little different. Okay, so let's see. I don't think I have traveled to Brockenborings in my stuff. I'll just go to the camp. Yeah, we'll have to come back here today. Okay, so we're gonna ride over to Scary. Righty. And if you're doing this on a low-level character, you're gonna want to stick to the road. But I'm just gonna zip over because I'm like level 65. These creatures in the Shire really aren't too worried about me at this point. It's a Scary road. Not yet. It's a Brockenborings road. Or a Overhill road. Now, there is that thing about how there's like one good passing, otherwise you have to swim across this water. So sometimes I do end up missing by the copper. I always pick up copper. One, because it seems like you go through it a lot when you're a very low level character. But also it can have the I didn't get any. It can have the what is it? Copper dust, basically. That's not what it's called, but that scholars use to make a couple different things, I think. So every time I see copper, I'm like, okay, we're gonna grab it just in case we get the stuff. Gotta get the good stuff. No, it's giving me amethyst, which, I mean, that's nice, but I think we're past that with our jewelers. This is why we end up with stacks of 500 of things. Because sometimes we'll have like a new kin person or somebody, and they're like, or somebody's got a new alt, and they're like, hey, does anybody have any logs laying around? Or like, here, would you like 500? And they're like, why do you have 500 logs? It's like, well, every time I'm out, I pick up everything I can find. If you're doing the in league, you can find this lady here. She's got an in league quest. You know, you go and get old stars of old cider from the Prancing Pony. So during festival, if I'm still trying to get reputation with the in league and the ale association, I'm at max rep. So I'm not working on that as much as I was. But if I were, I just carry it around with me, like that one and the guy by Thornley's worksite. He's easy to get to. You just get yourself to Bree. And let's see what else. So I just basically stock up on everything. And if you, and I didn't have a high, like I did this over on Crick Hollow because I wanted to get the jig emote. And you can only get that if you're of certain reputation with the in league. I think you have to be, was it Kindred? No, yeah, you just had to be like friend or something. Anyway, so I got, I was working on that. And so I just had my high level character run around, grab the drinks, and then I pass those down to my low-level character because there's no way she could get to all those places. So these are the spiderlings that you have to pick up. So they're much tinier than like the big things. So like that guy over there, that guy's big compared to this little teeny thing over here. And they have little rings. They have like little teeny rings on them. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you another one. Look at how like he's got this little teeny ring over his head. Isn't that adorable? So what I think they did is I think they took the regular spider and stuck a ring on its head and then shrunk it. Oops. Okay, got it. So you have to collect 12 of these. So you get yourself out here to Scary, right all the way over to Scary, so you can collect 12 of these little bitty spiders. Like, can I tab around them? Oh no, but there's copper down there. I'll go grab that. Have I done all the spiders? Oh, I have. Of course I have with this character. This is my completionist character, so of course I have. Werewilla says, at least it's quicker now that there is fast travel within the Shire. That's a good point. I kind of forgot about that. So I could have taken them out to like Brocken Borings and then just ridden over from there. I still have it in my head that there isn't swift travel. I have forgotten about the swift travel business. So yeah, so like here you can see the big difference. So there's, hope nobody has arachnophobia. There's like the normal guy. And there's the little bitty spiderling. Like, he's a teeny tiny little thing comparatively. So these are the things that we're picking up with their itty bitty little rings. I think it's the little rings that just gets me. The tiny, tiny little rings. Those are pretty dang cute. Wait, where's the other one? Oh, he must be up above. Yeah, he's up there. Cannot jump that high. Sorry. Well, let's get on my fancy schmancy mount. So yeah, I did use my hunter travel to get me back to the Shire, to the hill, because I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just, zip over there that way. Little bitty spiderling. So we've already been here for a while, it feels like, and I've only got 9. Okay, I'm kind of complaining. I'm being whingy. It just feels like it takes forever to pick these things up. I know it doesn't. I know it doesn't. Wish they included Yonder Shire in the festivities, says Amervorn. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I wish they would include Yondershire in stuff. Like they have now that it's there. Like it would be cool with all of these new areas that are being added. Like Before the Shadow coming out next week. It's a week. It's in a week. So yeah, Before the Shadow area. So I just forgot the words. Where they are going to be. Something starts with a C, right? The two things, the places with the stuff. So those 2 areas, and then Yondershire and, oh, bollocks, I need a map. The place in Bree, Wildwood. So yeah, so we've got Wildwood now. We've got, oh yeah, and then in, not the Lowlands, in the old, not old, Trollshaws. The Trollshaws, now we've got the Angle, the Mythiel. So gosh, there's like a whole bunch of new places in Eriador that would be really cool if there was some way to include them like in festival stuff now. Maybe after they're done filling it in, they'll go back to the, hello, I feel like I've called a meeting. So I'm sure you're all wondering why I've called you here. We have to have a discussion about this whole spider thing with the hobbits. You gotta leave them alone. Okay. Anyway, all right. So I gotta go back now to Iris tunneling. I've got my 12 spiderlings. So I'm gonna bit back to my campsite on the hill. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a hunter and you're doing festival, if you don't have like some other high priority campfire that you've set yourself to, the campfire on the hill is just so handy. There we go. Matching mounts. Okay. Sorry, I'm just so chuffed about my mount. I love it. As soon as the festival season's over, I'll probably switch to another mount, but I'm really enjoying it right now. That's what matters. I just have to remember to write down the outfit and the mount and stuff, because once I put something together, sometimes it's hard to remember what I did. And then next time I can improve on it, because I think this one could be improved a little bit still. But it's nice to not have to come up with things sometimes, you know, the color choices that you make and all that. Okay, so now Iris is like, hey, hey. She's like, all right, perfect. Now, why don't you just take that jar of spiders and shake some of them out onto the web bushes around Wistmead? Preferably the bushes furthest away from me. If we're lucky, no one will have even noticed that the spiders were missing. So now we have to deliver spiderlings into curiously empty webs in Wistmead. So there's one curiously empty webbing. So we do have to dismount for this. A bush wreathed in webs of questionable origin, and we're on the quest to deliver spiderlings into curiously empty webs. So there was one, let's see. I did do this the other day, and I was like, they're not close to each other, so I was like, I'm just gonna mount up to get between them. It's so funny though, because sometimes I like to do Wistmead very in character, and I'm like walking from place to place, and so I get mad at people riding by. So look, now there's little spiderlings in the web. So, it's cute. Amorvorn is currently using the hunter camp at Osgiliath pre-battle for dailies. Oh. Well, you see, yeah, that's the thing, is we're on Treebeard, so our max level here is 65. There's no Osgiliath for us. Not yet. Not neat. You use the Homestead Stablemaster to get to the party tree. Yeah, that's absolutely, that makes a lot of sense. And I really love that the fact that you can use the stable master and the homesteads to get you to the party tree, Thorns Hall. It gets you to Calendim, but also Bree. So you've got some options with that guy, which is really handy. Okay, so we've dropped off some spiderlings into these webbed trees. So we'll go back and tell her what we did. Hey, Iris, how's it going? Okay. So, did you have any trouble getting them into the webs? No? Wonderful. For my sake, I think those will do for now. And if they wander off again, I'm sure we will find a way to replace them. Now, I love having the ability to get around with my main characters. Excuse me. So, with this character, when the travel skills were on sale, oh, I'm curious, what is the sales right now? Is that a thing? What was on sale right now? This week's sales. Oh, we can go take a look. Mordor, Minas Morgul, War of the Three Peaks are 99. Oh, through yesterday. Oh, if you missed out, sorry. Anyway, when travel skills were on sale, I bought them for this character. So I have like all three of those: hurried traveler, rushed traveler, expedient traveler, whatever it is. I've got all three of those. So all of my travel skills that are not hunter skills are down to 5 minutes. So all of my milestones are like 5 minutes. Like travel to kinships and kinship member house, all of that. Got all of that. So all the cooldowns. And then I also bought every single one of the milestone skills. So I have like 11 milestone skills. You can look at that actually through your skills. And milestone skills. You can look at it this way also, if you aren't using like Travel Window 2, or you just want to look at just your milestone skills, see where you've got yourself set to. So I find that also really handy. So I've got myself set to Hobbit and Bywater as one of my milestones. And I haven't do that with characters, if I'm doing the festival and they're not really doing much else, like I don't have them questing in the world generally, they're just kind of alts that are hanging about. So I use their milestone to set them to either like Dooland, because there's festival stuff there, or like Hobbit and Bywater, and then just ride up from there. So that's not too bad. Egg Arthur says the no bottle rep port. I love the no bottle port, right? That's so cute. And then you can take a swift horse to Hobbiton, and it's almost as fast as doing Homestead to Party Tree, and leaves the Homestead port for other things. That's true. So that's what I'm saying. That Homestead port is so handy. So handy. Yeah, and especially if you haven't upgraded. It's like that. If you haven't upgraded your other travel skill cooldowns, because most of my other characters, my alts, they don't have any of the cooldowns, so their travel skills are an hour, and I'm like, an hour? Are you kidding me? And I don't have, hang on, I do have a premium house, I think, here. Actually, let me just look at my housing menu. Yes, that's true. I do have a premium house up in Eastfold Homesteads in Rohan. So what you can do, because your premium house cooldown is always 1 minute. That's like one of the perks of owning a premium house, is it always is a 1 minute cooldown. So you could get to your premium house, and then there's a far ranging stable master there, or you could buy the housing item, which puts a stable master in your yard, which is also super cool. Actually, before we get too far, let me go ahead and turn these last 2 quests over here into Hallinard. So the Eerie Fog. So we had his beer, and he says, not my best, huh? I've heard so much about it now, and that I'm a bit hesitant to try it myself. Oh well, I'll brew up a new batch. I hope you'll be willing to give it another try soon. So maybe tomorrow. Well, tomorrow the festival's over, so today's the last time. And then the Gourds and Goblins. He says, aha, old Golfimble must have felt quite the shock when Bandabros the bull roarer swung his club, don't you think? I'll have more gourds carved soon enough. I must say I prefer these to actual goblins. And remember, again, that's the quest that gives you 50 virtue experience. So that's really handy if you're still working on, getting your virtue experience up. Because this is my main and my completionist main, I have done I've done all of the deeds for the Shire and Avendim and Lone Lands, like almost all of Eriador is done, and they often come with virtue experience when you finish them. So all of my virtues, not only are the 5 that I have slotted maxed out, but so is every other virtue. I'm at 32 out of 32. So every time we go up, we're like, yes, more virtue room, as our characters level up. And then we can start applying more virtue experience to things. Because right now it just goes to waste, which is kind of funny. Okay, because we went ahead and did the scary thing, that puts us at 5. Oh, and you'll notice there's still another ring. That's Begonia Grub. She's the one that wants us to go do the treats or trickery, as it's called in the game, where you go around and pick up treats in costume. I think I have finished that deed. Let me look. This is the deed tracker plugin, and I am looking for the Harvest Festival. And let's see, I have some consumables left to do, so still working on that. But let's see, we did the Haunted Burrow, we've done the maze. Oh, that's what I was going to say. If the maze, that's why you would want to do each one of those 5 different mazes, and you'd want to do both the challenge version and the cheating version, because if you do that, so that's 10 mazes in total, basically, it's a deed. So it completed a deed, so that's nice. So yes, I have done all of the treats and trickery. Just a taste, which was to try one of each. Second helpings, which was to try 20 in total on top of that original one. And then once you've done that, starting over again, excuse me, clearing the table, eat each one 20 more times. And then with the costuming, let's see, do it once. I did that. 7-fold foray. So to complete a week's worth of tricks or trickery. So 7 times. Hang on a second. He's offering to get me some honey so I could just gargle it, coat my throat. Ah. Maybe a little glass of milk, actually. That might help. We'll see that. Okay, so let's see. I did, yeah, then 7 days worth, and then bottom of the barrel, which is complete treats or trickery 20 times. So I've done that. So I've done all of the trick-or-treating I need to do, so I don't need to do any more trick-or-treating with her. So thanks, Begonia. We are good. So that is Wistmead, in a nutshell. The quests at the maze. So like I said, there's two race ones you could do. You cannot have those going at the same time, so you have to do one, complete it, turn it in, and then you can do the other one. But the gathering gourds and preventing a murder, thank you, honey, you can have those going concurrently with anything else. So that's not a problem. So you'll pick up one of those and then pick up the other two. But you're usually in too much of a hurry to pick up many gourds or birds along the way, and you end up just going back and doing it anyway. So yes, I love how people in chat are talking about different travel skills, because there's a lot of different ways you can try and get yourself around. So I was going to show you, actually, I picked a house in Rohan, and I had picked one house originally, but then I picked a different one because I can fall down faster than I can run up to get to the center of town where the travel person is. So, so this is my house here off of Ridge Road, and I want to get to the travel guy there, right? And this house was already taken, which is fine. I like this one, actually. So I can go into my yard and fall down, or I can just actually follow the road here. And it comes out, and I think if I... no, I just keep following the road. But so if I were, so you can see it said my name because that's part of my yard right up there. So I could basically go to the edge of my yard and just fall down and kind of cross country it down through here. But then I turn a corner, and here we are at the center of town. And here's the far-ranging stable master. Kaboom! Which is so handy, as we were talking about earlier. Like, you can get to the Breeland Festival grounds, which is basically then west gate of Bree, because there's that free horse right inside there. South Bree, which is a gateway to the south, which is a lot of other places. Actually, you can get to Galtrev from here, which is nice. Look at the ones that kind of apply to us now. Heirloom, so there's that Kellendon one that I mentioned, and then you can also get up to Thorn's Gate. Oh, it does have swift travel to Wistmead. I forgot that it does that during the festival. So you could just travel straight to Wistmead from the far-ranging stable master for 1 silver. What else? Let's see. Lothlorien can get you Karas Galadin. 21st Hall. Rohan, it's not going to apply now. Oh yeah, Trestle Bridge. You can get to the West Alley there. And the Shire, Mickle Delving, which is pretty convenient. Shire Homesteads, and then the Party Tree, as we talked about before. And the Party Tree is just really handy if you're just going to Hobbiton also, and you don't want to take the horse from Mickle Delving. You just go straight to the Party Tree, which is nice. And then Rivendell Stables also. So yeah, and then like there's so many. Oh yeah, and then there's so many really good travel skills because like okay, so as Evervorn pointed out, Mickle Delving Port. If you're a Hobbit, it's a racial skill that you have where you have to slot it, but there's this travel to return to Mickle Delving, so that counts as another travel skill. It does have a 1 hour cooldown by default, but it does, I think it sits on its own, just like the Lalia's Market one does. So you, and like your travel to housing ones are each, don't share cooldowns together. So that's really convenient. I actually did this the wrong way around, but I was doing the spiders thing in Scary, and I'm like, well, you know, I'm in Scary, I'm a Hobbit, this was another character, and I don't have the travel to Mickle Delving, and I need to get there for the Bingo Boffin quest, so why don't I run around Scary and get 150 spiders, because that takes no time at all. I'm a warden, and I have no idea what I'm doing with the warden, so I just basically tried to figure out what I could push that would make it attack, and it worked out. So I did that, and then I got my travel to Mickle Delving, and then I'm like, peace out, finished the Bingo Boffin quest line. It was pretty silly. But there we are. Hello, Ponton. We're talking about travel skills at the moment. So then, yeah, so Arthur was pointing out the no bottle one, which is really fun. And yeah, before I was pointing out that if you are in a kinship, you basically end up with 3 different travel skills, because you've got, let's see, you've got your travel to your personal house if you have a personal house, which most people do. If they're, especially for the travel skill, it's absolutely worth it. Then you've got your travel to the kinship house, which gets you straight to the kin house. And then you have your travel to kinship member's house, which you just have to remind your people to, in their, sorry, wrong buttons, in their housing panel, which you can get to from your character screen. I have a shortcut on my keyboard because I go to my housing stuff so much, but you can go to your character and then click on house, and it takes you to the same one. I just went ahead and keybound it because it was easier for me. But then you put a star, you fill in the star, so you just, click on it. And then if anybody in your kinship chooses you, they're going to get ported to that house. So it's really convenient for our kinship, because one of our kin members has those boxes, those premium ingredient boxes that you can click on every day. And so I just have my travel to kinship member's house set to her house. It's pretty easy. Yes, and Amberthorn mentioned the hot Mickle delving port. 20 kinds, yes, 20 kinds of treat for cheat steed. I did that, yep. Yeah, and Galtrev is a really good, oh wait, Galtrev is good for curator if you don't have the Lalia part? I'm not sure what you mean. Curator and Galtrev? There's a curator in Galtrev. Oh. Yeah, it'll be a while before we're there. Well,
It'll be January.
actually just January. That's not that far away. I do like Galtrev. I'm kind of looking forward to getting to spend some time just hanging out in Dunland and doing all the quests and everything there. I think that's going to be awesome. But as Amberthorn points out, there is also the Lalia's Market travel. And people are like, why would you need to go to Lalia's Market? So check this out. I'll show you why. Excuse me. It's really handy. You've got, so first of all, to get this travel skill, you can just straight up buy it for 3 mithril coins. So let me show you. So I'm inside Lalia's Market, and here she is, mithril trader, little Lalia right there, little hobbit lady. And if you check in with her, her very first thing there is return to Lalia's Market for 3 mithril coins. And you can buy 5 mithril coins for, I think it's 50 LOTRO points. So just go and do like a handful of deeds in whichever starter area you're in, and you'll have like 50 LOTRO points in short order. So then you can come over here, and so this is the south door out of Lalia's Market, and notice it just dropped me right here at the boar fountain. So that is fantastic, as everyone pointed out, for the curator being right here, or if I wanted to talk to Filbert Fig, Myrtle Mint, or Rowan Raspberry. I was going to say something about cinnamon, but no, that's not it. Also, the 3 Pharaoh crafting hall is right here. So if you are not in a kinship that has all of the crafting stuff set out in a yard for all of you to use, because not everybody has that, or if you just want to pop into this crafting hall because you don't have 5-minute cooldowns, So the crafting hall in the center of town is super handy because it has everything. Now, if you are in Lalia's, I'll just show you. So when you arrive, you're standing here, and it took me a while to figure out what was going on with this floor stuff, but it's because there's banners and stuff, and they're being lit up by the, yeah, there's stuff being lit up by the candles, and they're moving around. So anyway, go north. Well, I guess it shows south on your map, but it's really north. And you come out the other door, and you're really close to the Prancing Pony. So like the Prancing Pony is just right there. So that's really convenient. And then, hey, Berthadan, been ages since I talked to him. If you were headed to like the West Gate of Bree or to the Breeland Festival grounds, you just click on that horse there by the party, by the Prancing Pony, and you're right here And I can just do the same thing, and boom, I'm right by the front stable master at the west gate, which is kind of cool. So I do that sometimes when I want to get to the west gate with a character, and I'm like riding all the way over. It's faster as long as your computer can handle the transitions. It's faster to just go up to the festival grounds and come back, which is kind of funny, but it works out well. So yeah, so there's some fun little, I don't know, travel hacks. LOTRO travel hacks. There you go. It could be like a one of those videos, you know. 10 LOTRO travel hacks not to live without. I mean, I guess I could start making videos like that. I'm not big on what feels like coercing somebody to look at my stuff. But then I end up looking at things that look like that. So, I don't know. I guess it's effective. All right, so back here at the party tree, I've still got 5 quests to do. So I think I'll go ahead and just do 5 more and get my coins, you know. So we'll talk to the Ale Association guy because I'm a member of the Ale Association. So he has a quest for me, which is basically go in and play little tricks on hobbits inside here, inside the haunted burrow. So this is the last day of the haunted burrow for the year. So if you haven't been in, now is your chance. And time to finish up any last minute stuff you want to do. So before is pointing out that the SSG goal for Extra Life is really close to the initial 20,000 goal that was set. It's at 19,766. That is pretty dang close. And I'm at 400. My goal is 500 and I'm at 400. It's so funny. Last year I set a goal of 250 and I think we got it during the stream. Oh, that reminds me. We're doing the big stream this Friday. We're starting at like 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning, U.S. Eastern time. It's because some of us are in Europe. That's like middle of the afternoon for us. Oh, I did not. That's why I'm at 400. Rockadoodle. I missed an anonymous donation to during my stream, so let's give you a Hobbit flip here. So hey, anonymous, sorry I missed you. And 100, that's pretty awesome. This is why I've got to have B4 here helping me out. Ta-da! Yeah, we'll do a second one because I kind of was talking through that one. Ba-da, ba-da-da, ba-da. Little Hobbit flip is so darn cute. All right, so anyway, yeah, I set a goal of 250 last year because it was my first year participating. And we met it maybe before my stream on the big day. So we with MVP suggested I bump it up to 500, so I did, and we met that during my stream, so that was really dang cool. So this year I was like, okay, I'll start at 500, so that seems like a reasonable goal. So we'll see if I boost it up during my stream on Friday, or if we just pick somebody else that will be supporting during my stream on Friday. So yeah, so we're starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, and so I think, who's it, Winnie is going first? One of the other Europeans, she's got the first 2 hours. So she's doing like 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Again, this is all Eastern U.S. time. So convert it in your head to wherever you live.
So it's 8 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. our time? Okay, so she's starting at 1 o'clock our time? Well, we're 5 hours off right now because we went to daylight saving and they did not yet. So we're 5 hours off. Normally we're 6. Hello, Dime Hypatia. Welcome to the chat. We're talking about Extra Life happening. We're not doing it on the game day, which is Saturday. We're doing it the SSG LOTRO stream day extravaganza. We're doing ours on Friday, this Friday. So just a couple days from now. So yeah, so I think it's Winnie is starting it. Oh yeah, awesome. It is Winnie. So she's doing the first 2 hours. So she's from, again, clocking this all against Eastern U.S. time. She's going 8 to 10 a.m. And then I'm doing 10 to noon. And then Cord will be on for 2 hours. So he's doing noon to 2 before he's just pulled up the schedule for me. And then Druid's Fire is doing 2 hours after Cord. So that's 2 to 4. Yeah. Oh, that's true. There might be some changes, but and then let's see. We think next is Red Baron, and then Eldoleth is doing an hour, which is quite crazy because she's also Before is going to handle the giveaways. We're doing giveaways in the chat, by the way, and so Before is going to be handling the giveaways during mine and Winnie's in the morning, and then once Cord comes on, Eldoleth is taking over. And she'll be handling giveaways like for the rest of the stream time. So it's just crazy that she's actually doing an hour as well. And then I think at 6 o'clock, I believe, excuse me, is, Sens are at the SSG employee who handles localization. So, what's that? The coordination of localization. So making sure that the game gets put into the German and the French. So if you have questions about that process, because I find that a fascinating process, they'll be a good person to check in with, and that's at 6 o'clock their time, which would be, oh my gosh, that's like 11 o'clock our time, I think. 11 o'clock at night. I might try and stay up though. We'll see. If I'm still tired like this, ugh, but hopefully I won't be. Oh, and then MVP is going to be on for 2 hours, and then El Alduin, and then Big Ed Mustafa finishes it off. So we've got like, how many hours is that? Like 14 or no, 16?
10 streamers going.
10 streamer. Well,
16 hours.
16 hours. So 16 hours. So we're not quite the 24, but 16 is pretty dang cool. So that's this Friday. So if you're awake anytime during Friday, you'll probably be able to catch one of us. So that'll be neat. All right. So yes, Vlinder Hunges, welcome. I did see you come in. Yes, and you're sad that it's almost over. You did not get all your pets on Arkenstone. Which pet? Oh, the 3 pets? That's too bad. You know what? They're not bound to account, though. I'm pretty sure. Let me go double check. Oh, it's funny. I think somebody was just doing an emote on me. Oh, I should do an emote on somebody. Try and work my way through these things. Okay. There we go. Oh. Yeah, the Tome of the Lantern Gourd Lurker, and the Black Marble Wolf Dog, and the Night's Die Craven. They're 40 each, but they're not bound to account. So if you could get somebody else to buy them for you, then you would still have a chance at getting them, which would be nice. So there's 2 other ways you could get more festival tokens. One of them is the Becca Burdock, the token exchange lady. So if you have tokens from other festivals, you could use them to buy festival token boxes, swap them for this festival's tokens. So that's one way. But I'm telling you, the best way, if you want to get more festival tokens, is do the in-league and the L Association like deliveries and quests, because if you get those badges, you get the badges of taste and badges of dishonor. Turn those in, and you get a festival box like you can get from Becca Burdock for just 2. And you can get like a lot of tokens that way. I mean, it's the same number of tokens, but let's see, what do we get for, how many festival tokens are in here? So for Harvest Festival, I guess it's called Fall Festival here, 10. You get 10 festival tokens in a box, and those boxes only cost you 2 of those badges of distaste and dishonor. Badges of taste and dishonor.
So you get 110 on average per day.
Yes, you could, in theory, get 110 in one day if you did like the full round of the drink deliveries, and then pop in, because then you'd have to go to the in-league, buy up the boxes there, and then go up to the Ale Association and Thorns, buy up the boxes there. But then you'd have like a ton. This is a trick that Eldoleth told us about a couple years ago, and we're like, what? It was pretty awesome. I love that. The tokens from the Midsummer Festival have the best exchange rate, says Dame Hypatia. No, you know what has the best exchange rate? Is if you're wearing, this is such a hack. This should be a hack video, I'm telling you about that one. If you get the Fateful Toolkit, which you get from buying the highest tier of the Gundabad expansions. So this is it's a set of universal tools, and it grants bonus festival and landscape wallet barter tokens when equipped. So instead of getting 1 badge of taste, I get 2. Oh, hey, it's Lutz. Hey, Lutz, how you doing? Here, let me throw something at you. Nice to see you. You kind of get to see, you kind of get to know the other festival regulars, you know what I mean? Excuse me. So instead of getting one badge of taste, I get two. So like, you do 11 deliveries of in league, for example. So normally you would have 11 of those badges, but I have 22 of those badges at the end. Then I get the, but then when you do the exchange with Becca or any of those boxes, like, so I go and get the boxes then, so I get twice as many boxes from the In League and the Ale Association of festival tokens. And then when I pull them out, I get the bonus tokens out of the box. And so is that the Fall Festival one?
Yeah.
And what is it normally?
110.
110. So you would normally get, you know, what is it? 11 plus 11 to buy those boxes and then get the tokens out, and you get 10 of each. But instead you get 22 and 22. And then you get, instead of getting 10, you get 12 each time you pull it out. Yeah, so the daily toolkit, the Fateful Toolkit boosts your Fall Festival daily accumulation if you do that. From 110 to 242. It's a crazy hack, and I love it. So I don't want for festival tokens too often. Yeah, Blinder Hunches is wow. Yeah, it's something. And all you have to do is buy the most expensive Gundabad set. But the cool thing is with the Gundabad, I'm pretty sure that's the first one where, Fate of Gundabad expansion, where if you bought any of them, there's three. There's like the cheapest, the medium, and the highest. They have names, but I forget their names. It's like, you know, regular, super, and super duper, but that's not really the actual names. Ultimate is one of them. Collector's Edition, I think, is one of them, but that could go in either way around in my thinking. Anyway, if you buy one of them, you can upgrade to the next for just the difference. So you don't have to buy it. Like if you bought one of them, you're not crunched out of the others. Yeah. So that's nice, because if you were like, hey, I got Gundabad for the $20, but I really want this toolkit that you're talking about, you know, instead of paying $100, you would just pay the $80 difference. I mean, it's still $80. But then you get all the pets and you get all the mounts and, you know, and all the extra goodies as well. So for me, it was worth it because I ended up with, I think, then 3 universal toolkits, and I'm an alcoholic. So, you know, I could use more. I went to make something the other day for somebody because somebody in the world was like, hey, you know, I need this, that. And I was like, okay. And I needed something. So I had somebody help me. And then I was then able to go and help somebody else. So it felt like a nice chain. I went to go make stuff. And I had no toolkit. And I'm like, well, this is a problem. Where's my toolkit? And it's because what I had done is I had been using one of the universal toolkits on that character. And so I threw away all the basic tools. And so I go to like dig up some ore and I'm like, oh, I can't do that. So I was asking if anybody could just like make me a toolkit. And so eventually they did. And so it was funny. Anyway, but yes, as B4 points out, even without the toolkit, you can still get 100 tokens per level 45-ish character pretty easily because you can make the route. And he did post the link up ahead. We were really curious, like, because everybody has like their route for in-league and L Association deliveries. So this was before Yondershire, and actually it was before the angle of Mythiathiel. So there's new travel skills that exist now that we have not tried to see if they would incorporate and make some travel faster. I've heard no bottle is useful. It might have included the angle?
I think this does, but not,
okay.
But not no bottle.
But not no bottle. And I think no bottle, some people have tested that, and it shaves off a little bit of time if you use no bottle incorporated. So anyway, it's before that. But even still, using basically like either a hunter with hunter travel skills, it takes about 25 minutes to get all 22 of your delivery quests done. Or if you don't have like any of the travel enhancements, but you have like a house, So you get the house travel skill and like a couple others like that. But no like 5-minute cooldowns, none of that. And that still only took 35 minutes to get all 22 of the delivery quests done. So you could get 100 a day in like half an hour, basically. So that ain't too bad. And Aim Hypatia is like, I haven't bought Gundabad yet. Yeah, it's you want to make sure you get the Fateful Toolkit is what you're looking for. And it's going to be the thing where whatever server, excuse me, whatever server you open up, that's where it's going to show up after you buy it. So make sure you plan that purposefully. I chose Treebeard on purpose because I wanted the Fateful Toolkit here. But that means I think I have a Valar here, or it may just not have delivered it, or maybe we'll be 140 and it'll deliver it or something. So it'll be funny. Oh, Linder Hunches says I won it this weekend with a giveaway, so very happy with it. That is awesome. They got this, did you get the standard? Or did you get one of the upgraded ones? Because even if you got the standard version, you might still be able to upgrade it, with cash to get the bigger one if you were looking to get the Fateful Toolkit, if that was like a big deal to you. Yeah, Linder Hunches, you still have to buy the extra milestones, which is, I love having milestones all over the place. But you got to put the code in later. Nice. Okay, so let's see. I got 3 more festival quests to do if I want to get the 10, which I do. So I'm going to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and do Riddle in a Bottle because I know this throws people off. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. This is a timed quest, so I will sort of be paying attention. So you have 3 bottles in front of you, orange, white, blue. It's the middle one, the white one, for the first table. Now we're going to go off to the left instead of the right, because almost every other time you go to the right, this time you go left. And you go straight ahead, and that's when you use that door. It's the only time you use this door. Now this one's the blue bottle. Now I'm going to click it from back here rather than running up to it, because on the floor over here is that trip spot, and I want this thing around me before I go there. Okay. Oh, that was the blue one, by the way, the tall one. Okay, so now we go to this like slidey door, and we go straight ahead. There's the door. This one is the orange bottle, and for the longest time, I thought this was the orange bottle, but no, it's this teeny little one. Okay, so I've got the orange bottle, which explains why I was having so much trouble clicking on it, because I was clicking next to it. And we go off to the side instead of going through that other door. And then in the basement, it's the tall one again, the blue bottle. So the second one and the fourth one are the tall blue bottles. And then you just have to remember whether it's orange or white in between. And if you can remember it's not the wrong orange bottle, it's the right orange bottle, then you might be able to get that one down. And then the other one's the white one, because you haven't done that. You didn't do that one. But that's the first one. But there you go. That's the whole thing. And then we turn this in. Nice. Okay, so yes, Linder Hunjes, I think you missed this question. Which question? And maybe you can answer this. If you now buy the standard edition of Before the Shadow, and you want to get the upgrade later, do you get the cosmetic still? So, I mean, my understanding, and of course I'm not an SSG employee, but my understanding is whatever you get, like if you buy, yes, so the answer will be yes. So you buy the small one, you get the stuff that comes with the small one. You upgrade later to the medium one. Everything that wasn't in the small one, but is in the medium one, you now get that stuff. And then if you upgrade to the top one, then whatever wasn't in whatever you got previously is now given to you in that once you buy that. So yeah, if you're looking for something that's in one of those 3, when you buy it, you get it. Or, like if you buy the biggest one, you get all the stuff that's in it plus, the previous stuff, basically. Like it stacks. But yeah, and they just started doing that. I want to say Fate of Gundabad was the first one that they started doing that with. And now they're doing that with all of them going forward, which I think is really nice because it allows you to be able to come back later and upgrade, as opposed to having to like lock yourself in and being sad that you missed out. Because that's kind of what people would end up doing, right? So, cool. Cool, and before he's going to find a link for you. Hang on a second. Okay, so Egg Arthur says, yes, Good to Bad was the first, and they messed up. They messed up on the first try and had to send out extra Valars, oops, and extra toolkit too, because I did that. I bought the big one for Good to Bad, and then they gave people stuff in the middle one, and then they double gave it when people upgraded to the top one, which they weren't supposed to do. And so they were like, well, we messed that up. So those of you who bought the big one, because people who upgraded got doubles on some things, we're just going to give you doubles, which I was like, that is really nice. Like, that was a really nice way of them to handle that mistake they made. Because it would have been really, hard to take something away from people. Like, that would be frustrating, I can imagine. So it was nice that they were like, so we're just gonna make it up to everybody who bought the big one straight out, that you get the same stuff as other people who got the middle one and then upgraded to the top one. So that was really nice. Yeah, and Blender Hunje says, yeah, that's nice, because I find it is a lot of money to start off, and you love to support the devs, right? Like, I have an inkling on what it takes to make a video game. Like, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I understand projects. I understand, to some degree, computer programming, and not that I am a programmer, but I understand the process of it and how things don't go as you want it to go. And, you can't just brute force it. I love how people are like, will sometimes be like, well, why don't you just do blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, you think if they could do it that they wouldn't? Like, it'd be like telling somebody who's got like telling me with my back pain, well, why don't you just stop having back pain? Yes, I'm on board with this option. Let's do that. Tell me more. I would love to do that. So yes, I definitely also appreciate supporting the folks who make the game and give us this, this playground to play with. I love it. Yes, so blah, blah, blah often breaks everything. It's easy to break things, yep. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Before I posted lotro.com/expansions, and you can see buy/upgrade for Before the Shadow, and Fate of Gundabad now just has a buy now button, but the store checks what you've currently got before you can proceed. So it would not let us purchase it again, because the way they do the store now is it's not like walking into a retail store and picking something off the shelf and then checking out with it. It's like you log into your account and then you purchase the thing. So it knows that this is going directly onto your account. So it's nice though, because then it can check and see what you already have, and then it'll let you do then the appropriate upgrades, which is nice. So that's good. Yes, and as Dame Hypatia points out, servers don't run on nothing either. Yeah. They just run on ethers and hopes, right? All right, so let's do Holdfast Burrows. He's the one where he's done... So, he ventured into the haunted burrow and was sure there would be treasure tucked away in every corner, and he swore he wouldn't leave until he came with a few riches. But instead of jewels at the bottom of various jars and whatnot, he found the most horrible things instead. Sticky, wet, cold, terrifying, unnatural things. And so now he's outside for some fresh air and realizes he's lost some valuables when he was digging around in this creepy muck. So I'm going to drop an emote on this person who's AFK, because they don't care, and into the burrow. So, so we're going to go look for his stuff. And again, we're just going to blaze through here. So there's a jar of crawlies that we have to find. We have found the correct one. We found his missing pocket watch. There is a bone pile that we need to dig through. It will be this one. That's right by the scary skeleton. And we have found his missing button. Yeah, the crawly jars are littered throughout the burrow. So that area of the burrow, that level. All right, the cobweb wing. We are looking for his glove. We're going to find it in a spider. In a spider cocoon, I should say. So we have found his missing glove. And I find it interesting. I realized that the, like you may notice I'm getting a little effect that's happening to me, or an involuntary emote that is happening. We looked through something of mystery flesh. Found his ring. So, like there's another one, but that's not the right one. But anyway, so each of these little fun emotes is, that's the involuntary emotes that's happened to me, is basically one of the emotes that we have for this festival. Except for that puke emote that just happened in the last room, and that one comes out of the one where you do all the races, where you do the hobbits are doing races where they eat, and then the dwarves are doing races where they drink what?
Farmer's Fair.
Farmer's Fair, thank you. Reminder that if you haven't checked in the barrel rack for the poorly hidden chest today, this is your reminder to do it because this is the last day of it. All right, disgusting puddle. We're gonna look in this disgusting puddle. I don't know why, because we're suckers. But we found his monocle. How does he get out without realizing he's missing his monocle? Maybe it was in his pocket or something. He was afraid. Okay. You know, when I was a kid, I didn't realize like that words that begin with A weren't like A and then the other word. So I always thought you were a adult, and so you would be afraid. You know, how many fraids are there in the room? All right, so hold fast. And this is the other one. The reason I wanted to show you this one is because this is the other quest in the festival that gives you virtue experience. So you want to pick that up and turn that in, and that gives you a more virtue experience. Yes, adult. Adult or adult. D-O-L-T, dolt. Let's go ahead and do the rattling. That one's in the attic. So that one's a quick, easy in and out. So I know like B4 likes to do his 10 right there at the party tree, because if you're a member of the Inn League and the Ale Association, you can do all 10 of the dailies right there at the party tree, boom. And he does a speed run. How long was your speed run last time? Like 17 minutes? 13 minutes? So, yes, I have a need for speed. Zero. Whereas, I don't know, I like Wistmead. So I enjoy the opportunity to go and do some of my questing for my dailies there. So I have the 4 in Wistmead, and one of them is a drunk effects one. So you're dealing with the drunk effects the whole time you're there. So what I do is I come here to the party tree. First I do the dwarf for the Ale Association, and then I'll do Cora for the Inn League, and then you have the drunk effect for a little while. So once I've got that going, I might as well head to Wistmead, because once I pick up, was it Holfast? No, the other guy. Once I pick up the Fognoggin guy, once I pick up his ale, I'm going to have the drunk effect for a while. So I might as well just do them both overlapping, and I don't mind. Before does it differently. He'll do the Inn League last, so then he has the effect going, and then logs off, so he possibly still has the effect going next time he logs on. I just want to get it out of the way. So I go and run around Wistmead with the double effect at the same time, because by the time I'm done, they're both worn off. So, yes. Hey, Arthur, be alert. The world needs more alerts. Exactly. See, it makes sense. Hey, a group donation from Ann Decker and Boffin. Looks like that was to the SSG donation, so that is awesome, because, man, does that put us over? It's got to be really, really close, because we were talking earlier, the SSG's goal is 20,000 as a full team. I didn't actually check to see how many team members we have this year. 19,816. Oh, we're at 19,816. Oh my gosh. We're going to get there before Friday. That's like pretty exciting. I think, so we've been trying, a number of us have been like, hey, Cord, you should raise the the goal, because if we make our goal before the day of streaming even happens, I mean, we might as well raise it and give us something to go for. Like, that's kind of fun, you know. So I may end up needing to do that as well. Maybe I'll bump it up to like 750. I don't know. If you guys have a thought, let me know. I always feel weird bumping it up, but at the same time, I kind of want to, because then people get excited, right? Like, it's more fun that way. So, everyone loves a moving target. Did I click what? Oh, I didn't flip for the other person. I will do that. Just in case they're watching. Why not? There we go. Ta-da! Yay. I wonder if I click that. Let's say I have to be facing. Oh, it does say I have to be facing. I thought it might auto face me. It did not. Here, I'll dance with Lutz here for a minute. All right, so is it dance one? Nope, that's dance. No, it's not dance one. Hang on. I gotta go to my dance thing. There we go. Oh, it's Dance Hobbit 4. Well, I am coming up close to the end of my stream time for today, and I'm not going to push it with the blah in my head and really my throat. So I'm going to kick it over to B4 here in just a couple minutes. But if you have any last minute things you want to see, like you want to see something about the festival, or if there's anything you have in mind, or any any comments you want to make, like oftentimes when I bring up this is my bar number 2, and people are like, whoa, I have never seen a like fully emotes bar before. But that's what you do when you're a social hobbit. It's really funny because there was something that I did. I was dancing, and then I did, what was it? I think it was a torch. Either I was dancing and then grabbed the torch, or I had the torch and I started dancing. And it was able to do both at the same time. So you're like dancing with the torch, I think it was. Yeah, it was kind of cool. I think it was a torch. Might have been something else. Oh, I should have gotten out my ghost of the old took. Oh, I should have been running around with this thing the whole time. It's the perfect festival for it. See, there's my ghost of old took. Oh yeah, Blinder Hunches has a bar with pets. Very nice. Yeah, I have so many pets in the game. Just the 2 in the house. Speaking of, is that Casper in the chair next to you?
Yeah.
I don't know where Kato went though. I don't see her on the couch. Maybe she went upstairs. We got some new windows up on the top floor, some dormers, and the space is a construction zone right now, but there's now windows where there was previously just wall or roof, basically. And so Kato is very happy with this. I mean, because she loves looking out the window and just laying on the window and all that sort of thing. So it does not surprise me if that's where she is. Oh, and Blinder Hunches, you don't have so many of the emotes yet. Well, I do love how many auto-bestowed emotes there are, right? I mean, because like you can have, so the yellow ones are ones that I have picked up mostly from festivals. And then the green ones are ones that already exist. What's that? What? I'm at the collections panel.
You might want to point it out. You might have more than that. You know?
I might have more. Well, so okay, so if you start with the auto-generated, like, yeah. So the green ones everybody has. So you have all of these to start with, which is not a bad selection. And then I don't know how to sort to just get the yellow ones, but basically all the yellow ones are ones that I have picked up. And like I said, mostly through festivals, through, with festival tokens and whatnot. If I put earnable, maybe, but I'm not sure if it drops any out. But like Boo, that's from this festival, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was this festival. Oh, I'm gonna click on that person again. Nope, hang on. Trying to use my consumable on this person. There we go. Let's see, so we've got Boo. Oh yeah, so the dances though, I make an effort, especially with my main, to go around during a festival and get the dances, because it'll take you 2 days, because you can only do one per day, and each festival dance person has 2. So it'll take you 2 days to get all of the all those dance emotes, but then that's 8 that you have then. Yeah. So you get 8, so you get, because you get 2 dwarf, 2 elf, 2 hobbit, and 2 man. I have picked up a couple others. Let's see, the Bubble Fish Pipe, that's Farmer's Fair. That's Hobnanigans, Midsummer. Oh no, it's Treasure Hunt. Oh yeah, the Treasure Hunt has a bunch of them. It's kind of crazy. That's another from the Treasure Hunt. This one we got actually from doing Halls of Night, and that one's kind of cool. Drink from the Boot, that's Hobnanigans. This is Hobnanigans also, actually. There's a couple of hidden deeds where if you receive a certain number of emotes done at you, like the laugh emote, then you earn, let's see, I forget what that one was. That's salute. If people did 100 salutes at me, and now I have the hero pose, for example. Let's see. So anyway, festival is a great way to get stuff. Yeah, the rare dances are Rep Bard, says Amervorn. That's what I was saying about earlier about why I was working so hard to get reputation with the In League with one of my, she's like level 14, right? Like she's got a long way to go. But the jig is this one. Oh, here, I'll just do it in person. It should be around here. Where is it? Oh, I'll just type it in. Dance jig. So yeah, you just kind of bounce up and down a little bit like that. Super cute. That's a great one. And that's the one that you get from the in-league reputation. So I have, I actually went and was trying to figure out how I could do the drinks deliveries with that level 14 character, right? And that's the one where I went and had my higher level go and buy all the drinks for her. And what I realized I could do is then I go to the guy. Okay, so let me show you. Hang on. Let me get to the guy first, and then I'll show you what I figured out. So you know how you have the 2 guys standing next to each other, the in-league guy and the Ale Association, the Tavern Keeps, and they have like the set of quests, the delivery quests, and don't worry about picking up the in-league ones, because when you get to the in-league member, you can pick up the in-league quest and then turn it right into them. But if you pick up the Ale Association ones, and you have an hour to do each of those, so what I've realized is Never Further From Home, which is down here, that one you deliver to Thornley's worksite. That's outside of Bree. That's easy to get to. One Drink Too Few, that one, oops, that one goes to Thrassy's Lodge. So if I'm doing festival and going around to each of the 4 places anyway, that one's easy to drop off because I'm in like Dooland and I can get the horse from Dooland up to Thrassy's Lodge. So that one's easy to do. A Different Reminder of Rivendell, that gets delivered to the Refuge of Edhelion, which is just outside of Thorin's Hall. So that one's easy to do. All I have to do is get myself to Thorin's Hall, which for Thrassy's Lodge, go to Gondomar, up to Thorin's. So now, again, this is with a level 14 character. She has hardly any travel skills. She's got some milestones, but you know, even if I don't have enough milestones, like I was able to use the travel from those locations because they're all really low level travel. So what I did is I had my higher level character go to Rivendell, and then I then got myself to Rivendell later though, and set a milestone there. So because once you pick up these Ale Association quests, you have to go pick up the wrong version. So I start in Bree, and I talk to the guy at Bree in the Breeland Festival grounds. And then I take the horse down back into Bree, run over the prancing pony, come back, get back to the festival grounds, and drop it off at Thornley's worksite. And then while I was at the prancing pony, I also picked up the one for Thrassy's Lodge. Now, you still have to get to Rivendell, though. So then I use my milestone, I go to Rivendell, and then my milestones aren't cooled down at that point, because I just got there. So then I take my port to my home, or kin house, whatever, get into a neighborhood, take the stable master, the far-ranging stable master, to Thorin's, go, and then I do the little geode hunt there. And then I go and deliver to Edhellion, and then I go back and have them give me the... oh no, by then my milestones cool down, and I have a milestone to Dueland. And then I ride up to Thrasy's Lodge from there. So that is a way that I was able to get like three deliveries every day. And then if I do the in-league delivery, the in-league initiation, that also gives you rep each time you do it. So I was like, well, sure, I'll do that. That gives me like 12,000 or 1,200 rep. While I'm there doing the place in Brackenborings as part of the in-league, there's the lady who has an in-league member there. So I was able to pick up and drop off right there with her. Now, I didn't have her bonus one. I guess I could have actually picked it up from this guy and do it. But each one of the locations has these, you know, bob for apples or dig for geodes or pull out a scroll things or pull a pumpkin to give you extra tokens. So that was, I was doing those also. Yeah, I kind of wrote it out to make sure I got myself around. Thank you, Ambervorn, saying a very efficient pathway. Well, I was trying to figure out, like, what can my little level 14 do? Where can she go where she's not going to get knocked off her feet and, you know, all of that. So, oh, how funny. Ambervorn says you can combine Jig with the SOS emote. It looks very confusing. All right, so wait. Well, let's see. Okay, so if I do Jig... Oops, I forgot for dance jig. Dance jig. Do I have SOS? Oh, I might not have it on this character. Oh, I don't have it on this character. That's like, oh, that's like Isengard or something, isn't it? Yeah, I don't have that yet. That's funny though. Okay. Yes, B4 says it did take him a while to realize that you can get badges of taste and dishonor from the in-league and the Ale Association quest here at the Haunted Burrow. So that's another way to get more of those tokens. It's fabulous. We've stacked up so many of those tokens. In fact, do I know how many I have over here? Let me look in my wallet. Let's see. So badges of dishonor, I have 322. And badges of taste, I have 351 right now. So there we go. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. After me, here, it is Tuesday, I hear. So I am Little Redhead, and I am finishing up here today. So B4 is your coming up right after me, and he does a stream where he works on developing plugins for LOTRO. He's currently working on a minstrel plugin that he's doing some tidying features on it, and yeah, you know how it is. You see something, you're like, oh, I want to fix that, and then you're like, oh, but I want to fix that, and oh, now I want to fix that. So he's on that rabbit hole for minstrel buffs, I believe, minstrel buffs still. And so if you have questions about plugins or any other, you know, thoughts about LOTRO in general, really, you can bring that up during his stream. I will be hanging out here in the background. I might actually work on my knitting project. Or what? What? Yeah, I know. It's getting further. I've got, this is my second ever knitting project, so I'm like, yay, it looks like a thing. So we've got like kind of diamonds here, and then we've got like a basket weave here, and then we've got like eyelet holes here. And then I did the pattern going backwards. So I've just finished the basket weave with some more mistakes than the previous time. And now I'm going into the diamonds again. And then once I finish the diamonds, we'll see what, I'm going to put a border around it, but we'll see what it looks like when that gets to that point. So I'll try and remember to show it to you, to everybody on stream when we get there. So, all right. Thank you, Dame Hypatia. It's just lovely. Yes, you're most welcome for the stream. Thank you all for being here with me. This is always so much fun for me, and it's definitely more fun when there's people to share the experience with. I was saying that to before the other day, actually, about how I feel very, very lucky that we get to do these sorts of things together, because it just gets me all warm and fuzzy inside. So yeah, good luck on the goal. Thanks, Amberworm. Yeah, Just Right says she loves the color. I do too. That orange is just, I don't know, there's something just very it's yummy. about it. Yeah, it's not too dissimilar from my outfit, actually, now I looking at it there. Has some similarities. All right, yes, thanks for the stream and happy knitting. Yes, it's more, at this point, concentrated knitting to like really focus, make sure I don't make any mistakes. Got to count those numbers exactly right, or it comes out really funny. So, all right, well, I'll see you all in the chat, and also see you next week when I think we'll be in Before the Shadow. So I think we'll be hanging out in Bree and checking out those new areas. So very exciting. All right, have a great rest of your day, everybody. And remember, as always, to stay in touch with that Hobbit side of your heart. All right, take care. Bye-bye.